Welcome, welcome, welcome. I believe we are here to experience a little bit of laughter yoga with Chamundai, Miss Curran. And how are you today, Jackie?
I'm very well, Dave. Thank you. Very nice to be here.
It's fantastic. Do you realize when we first met?
Way, way, way back. Would it have been 2005, 6, 7? XL, was it in Bali, Roger Hamilton?
I remember actually leading a post on my, I was blogging at the time, and I wrote a post about you September 1st, 2008. I was in Wellington, and I was just sharing how wonderful laughter yoga is and what a wonderful experience it is. I'd give classes about a 5 or 10, 15-minute experience of it. Yet every time I would talk about you, there's the laughter yoga who's looking to change the legal industry in Australia. A raving fan, a fan of yours for over 14 years. And it's just absolutely been incredible to watch. I looked up your website yesterday, and it's just absolutely incredible. I thank you so much for being with us. And would you like to share a little bit about your journey with laughter yoga?
Yes, thank you. That's so wonderful that you have those memories. And I love that when we connect through that medium of laughter, it makes that heart connection that really I found the people that I've met through my laughter yoga practices are just great, deep friends. It's really beautiful. So I was a lawyer for a long time, and now I say that I used to be a lawyer and now I get paid to laugh. And that's how I became the laughter lawyer. But actually what happened was I was a stressed out lawyer, and I was literally driving home from one of my legal cases, and I was so sick of what I was doing, and I thought there has to be a new answer. There has to be something else. So I said a kind of a prayer in the car. Please, God, help me. I don't want to be a lawyer anymore. What do you want me to do now? And to my great surprise, I just felt or heard or knew the answer. And the answer was start a laughter club.
That's awesome.
And it was so out of the blue. It was so unexpected. I'd never heard of laughter clubs. I'd never thought about laughing for no reason. I didn't know what a laughter club was. So I went on a massive journey then to discover laughter yoga. I discovered Dr. Madan Kataria, who started the laughter yoga movement. I went and trained with him. Then I went back to where I was living on the north coast of Australia, Port Macquarie, and I started my first laughter club. And the local newspaper came and did a story on local lawyer starts laughter club. And so, of course, people in the town started calling me, oh, you're that laughing lawyer, you're that laughing lawyer. And so literally the name, the laughter lawyer, just was stuck to me because that's what people called me. You're that laughter lawyer, you're the laughing lawyer. And I thought, oh, that's a business name.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey.
And so tell us a little bit about, because right now you're probably meeting people who are finding it very stressful, finding the situation in life to be overwhelming. What are some of the benefits of laughter? It's something that I just believe in fully. And when you think of wellness, what are some of the benefits or effects of laughter?
The more I look at the research on stress, and the more I listen to great scientific people pulling apart the effect of stress on our bodies, the more I realize that laughter is the absolutely perfect magic pill. It is the complete antidote to stress through the mind, through the body, through the spirit, through the heart, the emotions. It does the complete opposite of what stress does to our body. So stress makes us release cortisol. And in our body, if we have too much and it stays there for too long, it shuts down other functions. It stops us thinking properly. Our heart disease and clogging of the arteries, and so many physical effects of stress, the way it affects our organs, the way it affects the brain, the way it creates depression, anxiety. laughter has this incredible way of counterbalancing everything. And it's because it cuts down the cortisol, it releases serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin, and in a beautiful balanced chemical. Because laughing, of course, is a natural thing. It's not like we're taking a pill, literally. Everyone was born, you know, with the ability to laugh somewhere inside them. And babies and children laugh frequently because of the way they're playing. And so all that happens is that as adults, we forget that we have this ability in us, in the same way that we can breathe, and we might kind of forget how deeply we can breathe. We just forget we can go ha 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 ha, and we can just laugh.
So does it, like, when people first start, because I remember sharing it from the front of the stage, and one has to have a little bit of playfulness or curiosity, or allow the little child to come out and play. Yet so many of us, and I'm doing a lot of grief counseling right now, and even in my elderly caregiving right now, it's what can I do to bring a little giggle or laugh out of my parents or seniors? Yet they haven't done it for a while. So what are one or two ways to just get people to turn it on, or to encourage them to laugh and giggle and have fun?
And it is about playing. You've exactly expressed it. It's the combination of the breathing, the intention, the playfulness, the exercise. But I actually think the secret weapon is you as the facilitator. So when you're playful inside, when you cultivate your daily practice, and you make sure that you laugh every day, you play, you have games with the universe. Like, the universe is incredibly funny. Like, so many funny things I could tell you that happen. Even yesterday I was doing a live video and I said you should laugh every day. And I was right next to a car and the number plate said Day, D-A-Y. Like, how does that happen?
Absolutely.
It's just the funniest thing. But we need to be aware. But I think for older people, gradually, just first of all talking about the benefits so that they know they have permission to laugh and no one minds if they're silly. That you demonstrated, I think, through your playfulness and your activities. And the more we're playful, I find other people just catch on. It's very contagious because of the mirror neurons. So if I'm being playful and I'm with you and you're feeling a bit sad, then it's kind of like bringing in specific activities. Like with older people, sometimes we laugh about the daily things. I once did an activity in an aged care where we were pretending to clean our teeth and laugh like this. And the lady next to me, she turned to me and she said, "I don't have any teeth."
That's absolutely the when you start, people will just allow themselves to allow the contagion to take care.
It was hilarious. So she had that permission to be silly and playful, you know, in that instant. Also with older people, music is a big thing, especially songs from their past. They can get very playful and active with the music.
Absolutely.
And also with older people, sometimes it can be good if you have a couple of people with you who are a bit younger and who are very able to laugh and play, and they can encourage that in the setting, so they can bring that laughing sort of atmosphere. So I used to sometimes take some laughing helpers with me.
Laughter helpers, very good. So if I was watching one of your days of laughter in the last couple of days, and I love the way that you're bringing it in a slow pace. Can we just start with a little soft laughter and allow any of our guests to enjoy a little bit of laughter with us? Because I think that would be really nice as an icebreaker, right?
Yes, and it's great to start with, first of all, a little bit of breathing. So I love to start with breathing. Deep breath in and a deep breath out with ha.
Ah.
And then another deep breath in. And as we breathe out, ha. And one more breath in. And on the third breath, as we breathe out, ha, 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 ha.
So is there a little shyness there that I sense in your little starter out there, or is that a natural way that you do it, or what is that?
It depends a little bit on, I guess, the audience. I guess I do my best to be tuned in to the openness or the capacity of who the audience are. And it's always tricky when we don't know who they are. Right. The thing about virtual is it's different from being in a room with people where you can see them.
Right.
So I love that anyone can watch us. And at the same time, I don't quite know who they are. So there's probably that little bit of like, who's watching?
Right. Well, I wanted to ask a couple of quick questions because I wanted to actually do a session with you. So we'll do about 5 or 10 minutes of laughter yoga. We got our friends in Singapore and Malaysia who are just waking up. So it's those who would like to maybe giggle or laugh with us, it'll be great. Yet the dopamine, the oxytocin, the serotonin, and the endorphins. This is, again, laughter naturally allows these beautiful parts of our body to be secreted, to be nurtured, to be released. Can you share a little bit about the way that happens, or at least a little bit of the neuroscience behind it? Because that is just so powerful when our left brain friends can get it and then just jump on it and then laugh away with it.
Yes. Well, the research into all of that, what laughter actually does, started through the lens of pain relief with Dr. Probine and my mind's gone blank on the name of the other person. It'll come to me in a minute, who started the research initially on the way that the endorphins release and they give the pain relief. So the research shows that when we laugh, we release these chemicals, and they're released in the brain. So we release the serotonin, the dopamine, which is the pleasure chemical, makes us feel happy, and even smiling does that as well.
Yes.
And also the endorphins give us the pain relief as well as the happiness, and the oxytocin is the chemical that connects us with people.
Right.
So literally through the activity of the laughing, it's sparking these capacities in our brain and in our chemistry to release those chemicals in a kind of a balanced way. So because laughing is this natural activity, it's like breathing. Our body sort of self-regulates, and so it's it's stimulating and balancing all those chemicals and the neurotransmitters. And I've still forgotten the name of the first. I'll think of it as soon as
it will come when we laugh a little bit. So we'll laugh a little bit. So let's do a little bit of laughter and share a couple of your favorite little snippets for maybe seniors on one hand, and then maybe the serious lawyer on the other side.
One of my favorite, let's start with a little bit of breathing, because it's really important to engage our breathing and the oxygen levels. So as we're breathing in, take a deep breath in, and as we breathe out, ha 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 ha. And so it's the breath, and then it's the sound of laughing, ha 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 ha. And then it's one more breath in. Ha 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 ha. And there's a whole series of exercises around the fact that we're washing our hands a lot now, so we can wash our hands and laugh. We're using hand sanitizer a lot. People are taking our temperature. And we're supposed to be social distancing.
Oh, social. Oh, Bush.
Away.
In Japan, we would say "nakot, narakot, narakot, narakot." That's sumo wrestling. Nakot, narakot, narakot, narakot.
I love that. Japan has apparently the most people trained in laughter yoga.
They need it. It's great. I love the idea that when Japanese get involved in things, they really dig deep and they go really to the essence of it. And that's one of the things of living in Japan is just amazing. That's when I first started studying ki. And again, even for me, the ki lessons were like we used to giggle, we used to laugh. That was part of the healing. And even just like like making sounds that maybe we want to share a couple of sounds. I've got some friends here that are adding some comments now, and I welcome. Thanks, Debbie and Sean. Great to see Sean from, I don't know where Sean is these days, whether in Malaysia or back to Africa. Yet again, add a comment. It would be great to engage with some of our friends on Facebook Live. What would be some sounds that always made you giggle or laugh?
It's very random. Like yesterday or the day before when I did my laughter, the kookaburras here in Australia were laughing and they were actually responding to myself and a friend laughing. And so definitely when I hear the kookaburras, because they're called laughing kookaburras.
Wow.
And the beauty about becoming very practiced at laughing, just laughing as a form of exercise, is what happens then is everything's funny. So things that wouldn't normally be funny appear to be funny. So even today I was doing my meditation and I was talking about how when we give energy to the divine gives the blessed energy back to us. And as I was talking, the incense stick on my incense holder flicked out of the thing and landed on my wrist, like slightly burning me. But it was like it was a divine instrument, like it has the fragrance, and it flicked onto me, and that became hilariously funny, and I started laughing. And normally that wouldn't be funny.
I must admit, by my last 3 months with elderly caregiving has really been infusing the word hilarity into my daily life. And so part of my challenge when I wake up in the morning is to make my parents laugh and to smile. And so like whether I say, hello, daddy, hello, mommy, can I get you coffee? And it's allowing. And then sometimes they just shake their head and they go, you are going a little cuckoo crazy. And it's like, it's great because actually, I think my mom's even watching us today because this is something that I wanted to share with her because I recently became a yoga instructor. I went to India. I took a month to learn yoga and brought it back to the seniors. Yet I would love to also share a little bit more of what you teach because you've been such an amazing teacher of this technology. And when you think about this as your medicine or opiates, like, is there, like, what's your view on that right now? Just from a fullness perspective. Like I honor, respect that there's certain drugs that are important, yet again,
I guess that takes me to my own personal spiritual beliefs, which is that ultimately all happiness, healing, joy, and the capacity to get through any adversity comes from our soul essence. It comes from our divine essence. It doesn't come from our mind or our physical body, because our physical body is a small piece to the vastness of who we are as souls and people. You know, we're not just this human form. We're connected to everything that there is. And there's plenty of science and research now showing, you know, proving universal consciousness and connection. And so my belief is that once you learn to tap into that space that's more than your physical functioning, you would never contemplate the need for drugs or chemicals that make you feel good, because your feel good from the divine essence, from that peaceful place, is far beyond. It's such a holistic experience that it can't compare. And I guess the other thing, when we think about substances that we're putting in our body as a foreign substance, like a pill or a chemical, it's foreign to our physical functioning. So it might have a positive effect for a while, but somehow the body has to balance that, and we'll need to adjust. And it's almost like treating the symptoms of something over and over with more and more different substances. The body's trying to get back to itself and get back to nature. And I've seen and heard, and I'm sure you have too, of so many miracles of healing that come from, not from the external substances coming in, they come from the internal capacity to contact, our essence. And that then changes our genetic structure, it changes our DNA. And there's so many people who've written about this. Like, I know Joe Dispenza has written and researched it a lot, and lots of people have. And I love listening to Anita Morjani, who,
Yes.
after her near-death experience, I mean, she's a beautiful example of a miraculous recovery, having tried all the medical and all of the systems. So, so that gets us into a bigger conversation about, even my spiritual teacher in India, because I spend a lot of time there, once said to me, because he went through a stage of asking me, how is the laughter therapy going? How is the laughter therapy going? And it's really, when your teacher's asking you that, it's like, oh, am I doing something wrong? Am I not doing enough? But one day he said to me, we can laugh physically, but when we really laugh from the inside, that's when we really make other people laugh.
Yes.
And I knew the message was, it's about bringing that inner joy.
Yes.
And that has to come from mind, body, spirit, not just from one. So then it becomes a holistic practice. So for me, laughter is part of my spiritual practice, and spirituality is part of my laughter practice. They're not separate. There's this joyfulness that comes.
I love the way you speak. I love the way you explain this. You're such a fantastic advocate, ambassador, incredible. Like, because I get goosebumps to hear you, because you're making so much sense to the left brain, and then you're so playful on the right side, and it's just a beautiful weave of the Kundalini, and it's just so wonderful to bring that into wellness and that consciousness. So let's do a little bit more laughter. We'll get that breath going, because did the heat go up or what? Because my temperature raised about 5 degrees there. And again, there is some statistics that laughing 10 minutes is the equivalent to running how far, walking how far. Could you give me some of those statistics before we get going?
Laughing for 10 minutes, they say, is equivalent to being on a rowing machine. It's mostly around your cardiovascular capacity. So they say that because the laughing expands your lungs and your cardiovascular function, that it's similar to being on a rowing machine for about 20 minutes in getting your heart rate up. Yeah, so it can get your heart rate up, it gets your blood flowing, it massages all the organs, so it pushes the blood through the liver and the heart and all the arteries. It does so many things, and it's fun.
Yes. Well, let's see if we can go for 5 minutes, and let's just share a little bit. I love the way you start with breathing. I'm so much into breathing now that I've been sharing and teaching yoga, and this is just another component of infusing life force into our sharing, our caring, our compassion, and it's so available to anyone who wants to play, right?
Yeah.
It's
just
so
needs the
beautiful.
practice and the willingness. Practice, willingness, practice. So we'll do a little bit of clapping, because this stimulates the acupressure points. Excellent. And then we'll clap in a little rhythm, which is ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, 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 ha, ha, ha. 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 And then ho, ho, ha, ha, ho, ho, ha, ha, ho, ho, ha, ha, And then when I was a lawyer, I used to sound like this to my clients. I used to talk nonsense. And then breathing. Breathing. Ha 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 Pick up your phone and call your friend and laugh with them.
Oh.
Make yourself a nice drink. Ha 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 ha. Laughing cocktail. Ha 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 ha. And then make one more. Ha ha ha. And throw it on somebody. Throw it on someone. Ha ha. Just pretending.
Yes. Oh, fantastic. Wow. Wow.
After the laughing, it's good to breathe and relax.
Yes.
Yeah. Very good time then for relaxation and meditation after laughing.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Chamundai. Share a little bit about the name Chamundai. I've been curious about that for a few years.
Yes, yes. So Chamundai is a goddess in the Hindu tradition, along with Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, many of the goddesses.
Yes.
And when I say goddess, she's a form. She's one of the forms of the divine. So there's only, in my view, one divine form or one kind of God nature, which is the universal consciousness. But in the Hindu tradition, they teach through different forms, and the forms have come from the Vedic and the rishis chanting certain sounds and then seeing the form in light appear before them. So that's how they developed the mantras, and the mantra produced the light, and they saw the form, and all of them saw the same form when chanting the same mantra. So they have, people often think they have lots of gods, but it's not that there are lots of gods or goddesses, it's that there are different forms and each one has characteristics, like
Yes.
we would have a personality.
Yes.
So the characteristics of Chamundai are courage and protection, and like there's a warrior sort of fierce, loving nature. So all of the divine is about love, but Saraswati is about the wisdom, the loving wisdom, and Lakshmi is about the loving abundance of being fulfilled and having everything that we need. And Chamundai is about having the courage to, I guess I see it as always choosing love. So, I mean, like all of us, you know, I've had my share of personal tragedies, you know, like I lost my daughter, and this to me is about it, the qualities start to wake up in us when we use that name.
Yes.
So that's why in the spiritual tradition, often people change their name, because it lets go of the old personality and it lets go of all the beliefs and the structures that belong to that personality and that name.
Yes.
And, you know, when you take on a new name, you take on the character of that name. And so as I am called and I use the name of Chamundai, then that means that I'm drawing on strength and courage and love and compassion that I guess can override anything, because it can be easy sometimes to be angry at people or to be kind of judging people, but it takes a lot of courage to keep loving through our adversity. So for me, it's a lot about loving through adversity and always choosing love and always choosing joy. And that's where the laughter really helps me, because physically laughing lifts your spirits. And the
Yes.
more you do it, the shorter amount of laughter you need to lift your spirits, is my experience.
Yes.
If I haven't, you know, if I did have some times and years where I wasn't laughing very much, and it took more effort then to get the happiness and the joy back. But now it's really quick. Yeah.
Do you bring a prayer or a short meditation at the end? And would that be a lovely way for us to bring this
Sure.
session to a completion? Because I love the combination of the breath work, the stillness, and the vitality that you're sharing with people. And I thank you so much for sharing with us today. And it's so nice to reconnect with you. I've been following your beautiful progress, and condolences for any of the challenges that you have and you go through. And it's that love and it's that compassion, it's the patience to be present.
Yeah.
And
And for me, it's also about community. That's why I love reconnecting with you and meeting your community as well, because I never could have healed through that without my teachers and my friends who cared about me. And I was actually lucky enough to find my way to India. I was already in a beautiful spiritual community, and I was literally with about 100 of my spiritual close family when I heard the news about my daughter, which was a complete divine intervention.
mm,
In my feeling. But yeah, I think the community really helps us to heal. So laughter and meditation and all of what we're doing is building community. So definitely, yes, we'll have a moment of meditation to remember that although our physical selves might be in separate places, we are all the one heart, and we're beating it as one with the planet. And so let's take a moment to gently close our eyes. And that allows us to let go of the external stimulation and the senses and the visuals. It can be nice just to gently be in touch with our breath. Noticing the breath in and allowing the breath to flow out. Starting to be aware of the breath in the chest and heart area. And allowing the heart to open as if it's a beautiful flower, your favorite flower, opening as if to the morning sun. You may feel the warmth of the sun, the golden light of the sun. And a beautiful way to keep our hearts engaged and to relax into meditation is to add some gratitude. So allowing yourself to be grateful for whatever comes to mind. Just repeating, I am grateful for. And the things that are relevant for you. Then letting the breath start to go down through the body, out through the feet and into the earth. Really feeling yourself connected with the ground. Thinking about your favorite tree and the way they put their roots deep into the earth. As we connect with the beautiful Mother Earth, we remember that we are all of those elements as well. We are the earth, we're the fire, we're the water and the air. That gives us that feeling of safety and security and connection with the earth and with each other. And then when you're ready, you can move your body a little bit, open your eyes.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
And thank you, Sharon, for being part of the tripartite, the triangulation that allowed our message to be shared today. Chamundai, it's been a pleasure to see you and experience your wonderful vibrancy, your vitality, your laughter. And I wish you much continued happiness and laughter. And I look forward, if there's, I'll put your link on there. I think your website looks absolutely divine. It's got such a loving message and compassionate way of being. And so
thank you. It's been great, Dave. Thank you so much for being in touch. I really appreciate the time and your words and all that you're sharing as well. I saw that you do have a new book coming, or a rewrite of your book?
It's 5 new chapters, mainly focused on mental health. When I came back to Canada after being away for 33 years, mental health seemed to be the biggest issue in Canada. And so it triggered a deep dive into grief. Shift Your Belief About Grief came out of it. Depression, men's suicide. And so there's these chapters that will be put together with some of the coaching that we used to do, and allow get 2020 vision. And so
I love it.
On July 25th, we'll be doing a little bit of the launch online. So I'll send that link to you and maybe share that, and we'll just see the way the universe conspires to see what magic will unfold.
Yes, that's good. Yes, no, definitely send it to me. It sounds great. Thank you so much. And
thank you.
Bye-bye to everyone. And remember, keep laughing, everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Goodbye.